Morning, friends. Welcome you all for the 5th session of the FDP on waste technology. Hope you all enjoyed the previous session on the topic use of nanoparticle in wastewater treatment. In this session, we are going to have an interesting lecture on waste utilization crash to pressure by Dr. Damyanti, Associate Professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, S.N. Patel Institute of Technology and Research Center, Gujarat. With this welcome note, I now hand over the session to Mr. Sri Krishnan, who will introduce the presenter for the day. Over to Mr. Sri Krishnan.
Thank you, Dr. Jayasheelan. It will be immense pleasure to be thank you. She's also an she did all her PG also in structural engineering from SVNIT Surat. Ma'am is also a member of various professional bodies like IEEE, ASCE, ACI, to name a few. She is an she's a reviewer and editor in very many various peer-reviewed journals like Scopus, Web of Science, and UGC Care. She has organized many various technological events for students and faculty. Ma'am is also has organized various technological events, and she has also been awarded as a Bright Researcher Award by International Institute of Organized Research in the April 2019. She is also a young researcher in civil engineering by Global Outreach Research Award, and she is also has received various grants for a minor research project by Department of Science and Technology, Gujarat GUJ Coast in the year 2016. And she has also received various awards and felicitations from various organizations. So, with this note, I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Damyanti for the session. Ma'am, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, professors, for such nice introduction. Here, before starting my presentation, I would like to congratulate Department of Mechanical Engineering of Dr.M.G.R Education and Research Institute because they arranged such a nice FTP today. And I would like to congratulate all the organizer, coordinators, principal, and management of the institute, as well as also would like to congratulate all the participants who are a part of this great FDP, because there are so many recent topics nowadays. But waste utilization means waste technology. It's a today's need and today's demand. Why? Because we know that day by day there is a global warming problem, environment pollution, and there are so many problems we are facing nowadays. And environment is polluting. There are so many natural resources problem, and like global warming, CO2 emission, such we are ignoring, or maybe we are considering, but we are not taking proper step. Fine. So this is the exactly platform in that AICT, then Atal Cell, then this institute, all are together helping us through this digital platform, through this FTP waste technology. So I would like to congratulate all and welcome all. Now this is my first slide. Maybe it will be little bit blur, right? But here you can see like paper, glass, plastic, metal. So from that only, if I will not discuss my topic waste utilization trace to tracer, if I will not give you my topic title, I will put that image, though you can understand that something related to waste is going to be discussed today. My lecture will be very fundamental today. Why? Because it is my first lecture, and based on that lecture, there will be another continued lecture in this FTP. Okay. So, and as we know the rule regarding exams and all the things, so I hope you all will learn a lot, enjoy a lot, and will implement during your exam too. So there are few things certain in life. One is death, second is change, and the other is waste. This is a very what universal truth. No one can stop these things to take place in our lives, but with better management, we can prepare ourselves. We are from technical background and we have that ability, right? Here we will talk about waste and waste management. Why waste and waste management? Because as per the topic is concerned, means we have to go from trash to treasure. That's why we are talking about waste and waste management. Each of us has a right to clean air, water, and food. This right can be fulfilled by maintaining a clear and healthy environment. But there is a question: how many from us taking care of these things? We know we are in a hurry. We have some and this is creating a very, very big and serious problem to the environment. And that's why we are thinking for such topics that how can we do the needful to world in a way that is in our mind. With the technical terms, generally we have some garbage come in our mind. But if any material which is not needed by the owner, producer, or processor is a waste. Generally, waste is defined as at the end of the product life cycle and is disposed of in landfill. My all the content is written over here, so you can read it. And regarding that, I can discuss something, so you are you can understand easily. We know that most business define waste as anything does not create value. Focus on that point. Anything that does not create value. Okay. In a common man's eye, anything that is unwanted or not useful is garbage or waste. Right? This is our mindset. However, there is no waste as such in the world, but if we will focus as with the technical mind, most of the people are from different technical background, different engineering background, like mechanical people will be there, civil people will be there, electrical, computer, IT, maybe maybe the audience and participants from different engineering field. So if we are thinking that something is unwanted, but there isn't any use of the thing and this is a waste, okay. Here I want to add that nothing is like unwanted. We have that one sentence in our life that even dad clock showing right time 2 times. Okay. So if anything is like unwanted, unusable, no use for anyone, though that thing have some value, how that we will see over here. Almost all the component of solid waste have some potential if it is converted or treated in scientific manner. What I want to convey to you means whatever unwanted, unusable thing is there, so there is a chances we will convert it, we will reuse it, we will recycle it. There are so many scientific manner. Hence, we can define solid waste as organic or inorganic waste materials produced out of household or commercial activities that have lost their value in the eye of the first owner, but which may be of great value to somebody else. How? I'm just giving small example. Because I am from civil engineering background, you all from technical background, and having a good knowledge and having a good expertise in your own field, so you can easily understand my example. Suppose I am working, I am an owner of paper mill, right? I am an owner of paper mill. So in my eye, what is important? I am producing papers, right? Suppose like newspapers, I am producing newspaper. So my main focus to produce newspapers daily and to earn income from that, because it's a very huge, big, and very money producing business, right? But after that newspapers used in at someone's home, that newspaper is going someone's home, so now my use is over as the owner of paper mill. But after reaching that paper to anyone's home, that person is utilizing for like a paper pasti wala, right? Okay. And that person, that vendor will give that newspaper to any industry, like paper making industry. So again, my intention was to produce a newspaper, but that paper went to another person's home, and that person given to another vendor, and that vendor make reuse of that paper. Okay. So at my end, the value of paper is, and when I purchase, when I sold newspapers, but there is a new income from another vendor. Such examples are there, and there are so many things like steel industry. Okay, steel industry's main focus to produce steel. Okay, but after that there is a ore, there is some waste. So they are not interested in that. They are interested for their main product. If some raw product will be there, some unutilized product will be there, so what they will do, they will dump, they will do landfill, they will do water fill, or maybe they will give to someone. Okay, why? Because there isn't any use and there isn't any value in their eye, right? But the another person who is taking that garbage, that waste, that raw material, that person having some values of that unused product, and they are making in a such a way that public can use. Okay, how that will happen, we will see in a next by next slide. We can say that we can define what solid waste, we can define that we discussed. Population explosion coupled with improved lifestyle of people result in increased generation of solid waste in urban as well as rural area of the country, that we know in a very general way. In India, like all other sector, there is a marked distinction between the solid waste from urban and rural area. However, due to ever increasing urbanization, fast adoption of use and throw concept, and equally fast communication between urban and rural area, the gap between the two is diminishing, right? That we, so many persons from us is no, but we are not taking any step towards that. The solid waste from rural area is more of a biodegradable nature, and the same from urban area contains a more non-biodegradable component like plastic and packaging. Okay, the unacceptable attitude towards solid waste and its management is, however, common in both the sector. Universally, making garbage out of sight is the commonly followed practice. So we have to focus the classification of waste. That also we know, like solid waste. This will be fundamental lecture to continue and to connect our upcoming two lectures. So if we'll talk about the classification of waste, so many of you aware about that: solid waste, e-waste, liquid waste, plastic waste, metal waste, and nuclear waste. Okay. So what is the basic principle of all these waste? Not even only solid waste, but what is the basic principle? Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Maybe other experts gave you some focus on that. So our main focus, that we have to make product in a such a way that waste should not generate that much, means waste generation should be reduced. Okay. Second concept, reuse. If we produce something and waste is generated, so we have to use that waste again for another product. So this is reuse. Suppose some production is going on, waste is generated. So that waste, how can we recycle for another purpose? So in that case, uh, we can discuss some things like suppose steel industry. You, most of the people are from mechanical, that's why I'm focusing on steel industry. So people will not think like that, yeah, civil ma'am is there and giving lecture to mechanical audience. So avoid that type of mindset. I am giving example of steel industry. Suppose steel industry is there, we are taking example, they are producing steel. Okay, so it will be not like that they are just making directly roads. They will do some iron ore process, and based on that iron ore process, what they will do, by collecting exactly iron, they will prepare that bars, steel bars, roads. Okay, here you see, you mechanical people are doing that work with the steel industry, but after your production, we see, we civil people are using that road for our construction work. Okay, So I will connect civil also with mechanical, right? So the steel industry is there. There is an iron ore process. We are collecting iron ore to make that steel bar. But during whole that process, there is some small granular material will be there. Some small granular material will be there. Why I am giving you that example, because I visited that industry. I experienced that. So based on my own experience, my own visit, I can share that experience. That granular material, that steel industries, what they are doing for land filling. Then they are also dumping in sea, right? And in some cases by sea transportation, by water transportation, they are giving that raw material to another countries like Dubai. Okay, I will not going to reveal that industry name, because it is like such a confidential thing. They help me in my project, so I am not going to reveal that industry's name. But this is the actual practice in steel making industry, that some granular material will be there. They are treating as a waste, right? Okay, because there is a like more than 4,000 ton per day, something like that. Exactly number I didn't remember, but per day there is a huge amount of waste is generated. So for them it is a very hectic that how to manage that waste. So there is a nearby sea, so they are dumping that waste in sea and in landfill, and their industries, whatever industry that structures are there, they are lying on that waste only. Means there isn't any land. Okay, there isn't any land. Whatever waste they generated from iron ore process, that material they used as a land filling. On that material they constructed many structure. Okay, so we can see that suppose we need some certain amount of steel bar we required per year. That idea we have, means we are handling any business, so we have clear mindset that per year we need that much steel. Okay, for import export whatever purpose, or we are giving in inside India, we are giving out of India, or we are using for on industry purpose. So we know that per year we need such amount steel bar. Okay, so for that we have to fix the limit, that we have to produce only that much amount of steel bar. Okay, so we can reduce the production of waste. Suppose that waste is produced during the iron ore process, so how can we reduce that? There is one very good solution. As I told you that I am from civil background, so I will connect mechanical and civil. So mechanical people, they did their work. Okay, most of the mechanical people are working over there. There is a steel industry. So that granular material, civil people, okay, civil people are taking that granular material, then they are reusing that in a construction site. How in a construction site? You know that for concrete manufacturing, cement, sand, water, some ingredient required. Okay, this is the basic concept. Every fields persons are knowing whenever concrete is concerned. So there is a cement, sand, then aggregate. In aggregate, there is a fine aggregate and coarse aggregate. So in fine aggregate, sand will be there. Okay. So reuse means whatever that granular particles will be there, that they used in a place of sand. So it is the reuse of that waste. Okay, reuse of waste in a place of sand. This is the another good solution. Second, recycle. I am giving example for that only granular material. Okay, so another person who is making cement, they used that granular material and grinded it. Okay, in a powder form, like cement form. Okay, so that granular material we directly use for sand. This is the reuse. That granular material we went to vendor, it is a grinding in a grinding unit, and we collected powder form. So this is a powder form like a cement. So people use that granular material in a powder form. There is a recycle. So there is a very classy, we can say very common and very nice example of reduce, reuse and recycle. Steel industry waste, iron ore process, collection of that waste in a granular form, we are using in a place of sand, then it's a reuse. We are using by grinding it in a powder form in place of cement, means it's a recycle. So there are so many products we can that three are okay. But whenever we focus on solid waste, so segregation at source, that we know the process, and afterward, as we discussed in our previous slide, biodegradables and non-biodegradable, right? So in that we have to analyze at the domestic level, then that will be composed, right? And it will go to the community level. When we'll talk about non-biodegradable, then we know that paper, cloth, plastic, glass, metal, whatever we discussed in PPT, that all the things come under non-biodegradable. So here we can see paper, cloth, this is a recycle at village level, plastic, glass, metal, that will be to central recycling chain through scrap dealers. Nowadays, this is the trend. Fine. And this is the ideal solid waste management. Fine. If we'll go on the statistics on waste generation and waste characterization of data, fine. Whenever we are talking or we are discussing any topic, so we have one question and one thought that why we are discussing that. Okay, why we are discussing? Because based on that source, based on that data, we can understand why this topic is in demand, in trend, why we have to learn. If we have sufficient, we can use solution. So if we'll talk about major cities in India per capita waste generation, then you can see like city Ahmedabad. This is the data from 2010 to 2011. Whatever data I found, that this is the very good to discuss, that I selected over here. Otherwise, I can see another data too. But as per the very good data which we can discuss very nicely, that I have taken over here. So it will take Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai. So here we can see the population, but right now there will be a different values. But total waste generated in tons per day. Okay, here you can see in Ahmedabad like 2300, more than 2000. In Hyderabad it is more than 4000. In Bangalore it is more than 3000. In Chennai like more than 4000 ton per day. Okay, yes. So from that, I remember that waste per day of steel industry. That steel industry waste near about more than 4000 per day. Okay. Then Kolkata, it is also more than 3000 per day. Delhi, you can see over here more than 5000. Mumbai, more than 6000. You can just see the value. This is the tons per day. So can you imagine the monthly and yearly waste generation? So there is a big challenge to the industry. If we are making many advantageous thing, different field of engineering, in different field of technology, we are producing many advanced equipment, very advanced technologies. We are doing very advanced things, right? But we are generating those waste per day that much, and so we can say in a monthly and in yearly it will be very huge amount. So dear audience, there is a simple human being tagline whenever my waste related lecture will be there. I tell to everyone that if we are doing that much progress in a very tremendous way, very nicely, we are finding good equipment, good technology, everything, but we are polluting our environment where we have to survive. Okay, where we have to survive, we are producing that much amount of waste, we are polluting our environment, our land, our water, our surrounding, means we are troubling ourselves, means that technology will be and that's why we trace to preserve, means we have to find alternative ways, right? So that's why the topic in demand, that we have to think in a such a way that how can we reduce that, how can we go to another concept to do the needful to environment. Waste generation per capita in Indian cities as per population, waste generation rate per capita per day. Okay, so whatever table I shown, so based on that you can clearly understand that data point 17 to 0.54 per day. This is a really very huge amount. Okay, and when we are considering that last data, cities with a population greater than 2 millions. Okay, so that 0.22 to 0.60 T/kg per capita per day, this is already a serious problem for mankind. Now, state level statistics of municipal solid waste generation in India. This is the report of 2009 to 2012. We all are aware about the topic little bit. Okay, so here whatever data we can discuss very nicely that we used over here. So don't take that mentality in your mind that why ma'am only 2009 to 12. I can take latest data too. Okay, but this is the thing that we can understand. If frankly we are speaking of 2009 to 2012, but it will go year by year. So data is increased. Okay, number is increased. So that you can see that the municipal solid waste generation. Okay, metric ton per day. This data is metric ton per day. So that green cities in 0 to 3,814, more than 3,000 metric ton per day. Then the cities like Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Tripura, Karnataka. So there is a like a range from 3,000 to 7,000. And if we talk about Andhra Pradesh, then Kerala, then that will be ranges from 7,000 to 11,000 metric ton per day. Pondicherry, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, in that region, that will be around 11,000 to 15,000 metric ton per day. And if we are talking about the red alert, high waste generation metric ton per day, so that will be in Maharashtra, Mumbai. This range is from 15,000 to 19,000. Okay, so that is the characterization data. Okay, we know that such type of waste are generating in many countries. If we are talking about India, then in many states, but we have to also focus on the percentage by weight, like composable, then inert material, paper will be there, plastic will be there, glass will be there, metallic type waste will be there. If there will be a textile waste, then leather waste. So these are the percentage waste, average percentage by weight, composition of municipal solid waste in Indian metro cities. Okay, this is the data. Here you will see some good. Why? Because here you can see the year from 2001 to 2004. Here population you can easily see in 2001 population was 197.3. At that time per capita generation of waste 0.439 kg per day, right? And total waste generation as per that calculation was 31.633 into 10 to 3 tons per year. Okay, by calculating that we can conclude to that data. If we will talk, if we skip that 2007, we will right now this is 2020, so we are focusing on 2021. Okay, so in a 2021 if we are focusing, then our population is 342.8 into 10 raised to 6. In that condition, our per capita generation of waste kg per day will be 0.569. Can you see the gap? 0.439 and 0.569. Okay, and here just see the total waste generation. It is more than double. Okay, this is a 31.63, and here it is a 71.15 into 10 raised to 3 tons per year. So we can see the jump in these 2 decades, right? Then if we will focus on that data, and if we will that predict the data for upcoming year, then you can see 2031 that will population around 451.8, right? Maybe it increased more because of whatever data written over here. Compared to that, data is increased. Okay, in a population I am talking about, but per capita generation calculated as per, and as per that, whatever ton per year data it is as it is in 2036, you can see after 3 decades what will be the total waste generation tons per year. That will be 131.34. Just to see the decades series. In 2001, that was 30. But in 2036, it was 131.24. So we can see the terrific future days in terms of environment and so many serious global warming problems. Year 2041, this is the predictable data, right? We predict based on the existing data. So here in year 2014, we can see that population that will be increased, no doubt. Per capita generation per kg per day. Here in 2001, that was 0.439. But if we'll talk about 2041, means our son, our grandson, they will face the huge problem in a waste generation, means in a waste management. Waste generation will be there, but the problem is a waste management. So they will face that problem. Why? Because here 0.439, here also you can see about to double in 2041. Okay, and total waste generation will be in 2041 160.96. so you can see that more than 4 times of that. So in 4 decade, that will be more than 4 times waste generation. So if right now we are facing that much problem regarding environment, regarding like breathing issues, means we have also illness because of the environment change. It may be like some allergic problem, some virus or bacteria related problem, some health issues in heart, in breathing, like facing problem of asthma. Okay, so there are so many things that we are facing because of that type of waste generation which we are not managed properly, right? So here the state-wise data is there, and it is our interest, right? But here, what is the interesting fact? State-wise status of MSW processing facilities in India in 2011. Source is like Planning Commission 2014. Okay, this is the like work of planning commission. They are thinking that how can we process the waste. Okay, so here composting, vermicomposting, biomethanation, pelletization, and waste to energy. So in all the things what we are appreciating, this waste to energy. Okay, that concept we are appreciating a lot. Okay, but in that waste to energy, Andhra Pradesh, then Delhi, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Gujarat and other state also, they are now in a progress towards waste to energy concept. And landfill site associated with different cities in India. Okay, so if I am not going through the number, but frankly speaking, if people don't want to go with the multiple sources, means they don't want to associate with the multiple authorities, what simply they are doing, just they are doing landfilling. So they have to they can skip so many process and easily they can do landfill. Some are following, some industries are very well and very nicely following all the rules regulations, but there are few industries in a market, as per our knowledge and we all are aware, they are just doing simple land filling. If recent 2 days before example I am giving regarding the waste, then there in a Gujarat, in a one place, again I am not going to reveal that place name because I am not the authorized person. I am just faculty, and whatever knowledge I am having as per my experience and as per my working scenario nearby me. So as per that I am discussing that there is a one place before 2 days. Again, I was the eyewitness of that. I don't know why that thing happened to me only. So before 2 days, there is a very nice and clean road. Okay, I am traveling from that road daily. That road is a very nice, very beautiful and clean. And I would love to see that road because very greenery, very cleanliness. There was a holiday of Saturday, Sunday, 2 days holiday. After 2 days, I am passing through that road, and what I'm seeing, some textile industries waste very badly spreading nearby road, and over there that cow, then buffaloes, they then dogs, pigs, they are moving around and they are finding something from that waste to eat. Okay, and some people are burning that waste. So can you see that fundamental basic thing? That thing is that the problem of waste management I seen by my naked eye, that is a textile waste. Okay, I can see, I can sense. Yes, any textile industries did that, but we don't know who did that. There was a blank road, no any home or nothing is that. So no any webcam is there, no any CCTV camera is there. So any can give the idea that who did that. But as a human being or as a human being only, because the literate people or illiterate people, it not that much big difference whenever we are thinking for our survival. Fine, whenever we are thinking for our survival, so there isn't any difference between literate, illiterate, educated people. Why? Because survival is a big question for all. This is a common thing. As a human being, we can sense that I am having an industry, so I don't have right to pollute anything, any land like that. If I want to dump that waste at any place, I have to follow all the rules, regulation perfectly. I have to feel like that no any other person or livings can be disturbed. Okay, through that road we are passing, we seen that waste over there. So some waste was burning, means air pollution was there. Okay, some animals are try to finding something from that. So if any like a dying material will be there, any chemical will be there in that clothes or in that textile waste, and if any animal try to lick that or try to eat that, so there is a problem for animal too. They are animal, they are also living, they are also having a life, and they are also having a right to survive. Okay, but again the matter come on the picture is waste management. If that industry people do waste management nicely, so that problem will not arise. And it is not like that we have to go with the hi-fi websites, hi-fi literature, hi-fi like talks and everything. This is the basic fundamental moral ethical thing as a human being, that we are from technical, non-technical, or in academia or in an industry, we have to think proper waste management. Why I'm talking like that? Because here I am a professor, right? I am a using like a simple, I am using anything to eat. Some wrappers are there, some things are there, but what I'm doing with that, what I'm doing with that, I will put in dustbin. If I will not found dustbin, I will throw it in any place, it will go in a land, right? And there will be problem with land too. If I am using some chemicals, some means some chemicals or some uh, acid, some things are I'm using for my home, but if something some small quantity, some amount is there and I'm throwing at any place, so I am altering the fraternity of that land. Okay, whatever the fertility of that land, I am polluting. Okay, if something is there, I am going to move any other place. There is a very nice like a lake or river or any sea. I am going there for just for fun. Okay, and recreation, like, and then I am polluting that place, like a river place, like lake place, like sea place, I am polluting. Okay, so there is also problem of waste management. I am using my own things, that things having some waste, I am not doing it's a proper, like I have to put in a very good dustbin or nearby dustbin. If there is no dustbin, that's as a human being, what is the moral and ethical value teaching us? that put that waste with you only. You have something, you have some paper, you have some polythene. Keep that waste with you, and wherever you are seeing that dustbin, try to put over there. Okay. So simply in day by day life, if we are thinking seriously for waste management, and we are if we will follow, we will use, then definitely we can tell anyone with confidence that, dear sir, ma'am, do not go for that. You have to use that. Do proper waste management of your things. But here also one good example that we will discuss apart from that. But before that, I will talk about the solid waste management, Hirechi. So in that, we know source reduction can be done, reuse can be done, recycling can be done, resource recovery we can do. Then incineration can be done in few cases, right? But after all the things, the last option will be landfilling. What? The last option will be landfilling. But people nowadays, people using landfilling as a first option. Why? Because they have to, they don't want to go through some government process and all the things, because there is also a law. Also, there is a guideline that how we can do waste management. Okay. So most preferred, the upper things are most preferred, and these three: resource recovery, incineration, landfilling, this is least preferred, but people are doing that landfilling first. So why to manage waste? Conserve resource and energy, reduce water and air pollution, saves landfill space. Waste is equal to food. How? In nature, there is no waste. Waste is created by us only. Cradle to cradle design, product component are recyclable or biodegradable, right? So again, that concept will come in picture, right? That what preferred things we have to use and what we don't want to use, or maybe we can use but as a last option. If we'll talk about source reduction or reduce, so preferred method prevent the generation of waste in the first place. Fine. Reduce. Manufacturer decrease materials, energy used during manufacturing, distribution, means whatever I talk initially, that we have to fix our demand, per capita demand, whatever yearly demand, monthly demand, per day demand. As per that demand, we have to manufacture. So we can reduce the production of waste also. Fine. Then consumer purchase item with minimal packaging, avoid disposable product, right? Includes backyard composting. These are the source reduction, or we can say that reduce. And again, we'll talk about reuse. Then this is the only polythene we can see that I used from the Google. So many images taken from the Google. So we can see that there are so many things we can reuse in a different way. So prolonging a product's usable life, repairing items, selling them or donating them to charity, using durable rather than disposable items like reusable shopping bag, metal spoons, preferable to recycling because item does not need to be collected or reprocessed. This is the basic funda regarding the reuse. Now, I will take the example of metal versus plastic spoon. Cost to purchase higher for metal versus plastic, right? Cost to produce and maintain resources, metal, petroleum, water, chemical, etc. And energy used in extraction, manufacturing, and transportation. External cost will be pollution during extraction, manufacturing, and transportation. And disposal will be in landfill, incineration, litter cleanup. Okay. Saving from repetitive use of metal spoon is priceless. Okay. So again, there is a concept will come in picture as a recycle. So taking a product at the end of its useful life and using all or part of it to make another product. That example I have given very initially regarding the steel industry waste, reuse, recycle, right? Benefits will be save energy, we can save natural resources too, and landfill space. If we are recycling means we don't want to dump in water or in land. Reduce pollution. Why? Because we are recycling it. Create job and useful product. This is the very useful thing or useful matter, because right now due to corona covid, or we can say before that also, people are feeling like there is a no job or job insecurities. Okay, but if we will talk about the waste talk technology, in that we are talking about trace to treasure. Okay, so this is a very nice and salient example of that recycle. This is also creating job and also giving us useful product without using any natural resources, saving energy and reducing pollution in environment. That in recycle that require collection, processing, manufacturing and purchase. So it close the loop when we are recycling. 70% of our waste is recyclable, but that we have to define, we have to identify. So waste disposable last in hierarchy means, I told you that this should be last option. Okay, then waste disposal, resource recovery. So resource recovery, aka waste to energy. Waste is one to produce energy. Prefer to landfilling, reduces bulk of municipal waste to ash and provide energy. Downsides, sometimes may be difficult to burn or cause potentially harmful emissions. Strict regulatory restriction and high environmental and economic cost. Okay, so whenever we are focusing on waste disposal, resource recovery, then that point should be in our mind. Waste disposable, waste disposal, incineration, and landfilling, in that strict regulatory restriction and high environmental and economical cost will be there. Item barely decompose in a modern landfill. Landfill face capacity restriction, but though people are going for that option only. Resource depletion, pollution, and landfill are not the legacy we want to leave to future generation. That we just discussed. Recycling, reuse, save, preserve resource and energy. This is the best option. Best solution is to reduce waste in the first place. Means we are saying that in a first place only you are just reduce the waste generation. This is the very effective solution, and afterward another solutions came in picture. So now, what is the current state of India? So right now, now I am talking about the current state of India. Resource extraction of more than 1,580 tons per acre is much higher than the world average of 450 ton acre. Third largest material demand as per year 2010. Low material productivity compared to global average. Much low recycling rate at 20 to 25% of as a high of 70% in developed countries like we can say Europe. Third highest CO2 emitter, responsible for 6.9% of global CO2 emissions. In that case, I will reveal one another truth. Highest water withdrawal globally for agriculture, 30% of land undergoing degradation, high import dependency of many critical raw material regarding that CO2 emission. I will reveal one more truth. So this is the material demand of India. So from 1980s to upcoming 2050, slowdown of development process, counting current dynamic, fast catching up, past material consumption. Okay, so from 1980s to 2050, what is the scenario regarding material demand? This is shown in that graph. So now there is a question, ma'am, what this graph want to indicate regarding our waste matter? Okay, so this is very simple. Material demand increasing. I didn't mention which type of material. I have just mentioned material demand means different type of material demand increase, means different type of waste generation will be there. So based on that, whatever data previously we seen in our previous PPTs, we can identify, yes, this is the connecting slides. We can see as per our previous data and as per our this graph that yes, material demand increasing day by day. So as per that, different type of waste it is increasing, and because of that, environment is polluting very badly, right? But there is a national resource efficiency policies there, which is introduced in 2019. Okay, so we have to focus the guideline. The guiding principles of the policy are set as, I will read it properly because it is a very important. Reduce primary resource consumption to sustainable levels in keeping with achieving the sustainable development goals and staying within the planetary boundaries. Create higher value with the least material through resource efficient and circular approaches. Minimize waste creation and loss of embedded resource at the end of life of product. Ensure security of material supply and reduce import dependence for essential materials. Create employment opportunity and business model beneficial to the cause of environment protection and restoration. So again, some points are that this is the National Resource Efficiency Policy. After reading that, I will discuss one very pin point. So target of different industry, I will put on hold. National Resource Efficiency Policy. I just read the point. It is a very means very common, very simple. We all know the things. Okay. So all the things we know, but though to implement in a real manner, government have to introduce National Resource Efficiency Policy. Means in the question, if rules and regulation will be there, then only we will follow the policy. As a human being, as a educated people, as a technocrat people, as a people from technology, that isn't our role that we should say that it's not like that. You people, government or private institute or private industry is paying to that much to you, or you are earning that much, so you have to go and you have to spread awareness. Okay, that type of compulsion should be there. As a educated people, as a human being, either any or not, but for my survival, I need clean, perfect environment. So if no any rule will be there, no any policy will be there, so I can follow the standard, I can follow the ethics, that how can I do my waste management. So people, then surrounding environment, livings, non-livings will not disturb because of that. If we have maybe in audience there are so many expert, they persons are very experienced and elder than me, having a very good knowledge. So there is a some one simple like a request type of thing, that as a professional, that should be our motto, that we have to spread awareness in our industry, in our academics, in our nearby our residential area. Okay, we have to spread that awareness. We have seen such a waste type of problem. Okay, waste management problem. So simply we can tell that, bro, what you are doing, this is the way, right? But in a very polite and a good way. If you will follow, you can ask them, he will not that. There isn't any national resource efficiency policy. We have to stick on that. This is the policy, and because of that, you have to follow that. It will be not bad. As a human being, as we can see that the people from technology, we can see by that is not the way you are doing for our environment saving, for our nearby surrounding our air, water cleaning. We should keep some points in our mind that we have to do some waste management. Fine. So you just think, is there any national resource efficiency policy required for that? No. This is the again moral and ethical thing. Maybe in this FTP moral ethical lecture will be there. So you people enjoy more on that. But right now we are focusing on waste, trash, and something. So I am skipping that. But as the waste is there, so moral and ethics will automatically connect to technology, right? So why I'm telling that, because whenever we are producing anything, right? So behind that product, behind that thing, some moral and ethics should be there, that product should not harmful to others. Okay, but right now so many persons, they want to earn more money, just money and money. I don't know people where they are taking that money, right? So whenever we are producing anything, we are doing anything, so moral and ethics should be there. Now, target for different industries. So if we are talking about automotive sector, so 75% recycling rate for vehicles manufactured before 90s, 85% recycling rate for vehicle manufactured between 90 to 2020, okay, and 94% recycling rate for vehicles 66 produced after 2000. Number of PRO across major urban center by 2020. Use cycle material in commercial vehicle and passenger vehicle to 25% of it by 2030. Okay, in upcoming year. Target for different industries. If we are talking about target for different industries, then plastic packaging sector coming in picture. Why? Because 100% recycling and reuse rate PET. Okay, plastic by 2025, 100% recycling of PET plastic and 75% recycling and reuse rate of other plastic packaging material by 2030. Ban on disposable of recyclable waste like plastic, metal, glass, paper, cardboard, and biodegradable waste to landfill by 2025. Okay, now target for different industries in that building and construction sector. Before go to building and construction sector, I want to just tell you again, we know that government banned plastic. Okay, we all know very far long, means in a past we all know very nicely that if plastic we are using in a that much way, so definitely that will destroy environment, and this is the thing that we can't dispose in a like end way. Okay, the plastic is the thing we can't dispose in a end way. Okay, though in a tremendous way we used plastic, government apply the there. Okay, so now again there is a whenever technology is there na, some people may on that, but some technology is there na, ethic will be there. You just think how many from us, I am also accepting. Okay, so don't think like that ma'am is talking side away. I'm not talking side away, I'm just telling that how many from us we know that it's not good for us. Though whenever we are going, so how many from us, whenever that people, okay, that shopkeeper is giving us polythene, so when we are refusing him or her that no, don't give us. Okay, if your one society is there is a one shop that person is giving his product in a polythene, so we have to, you know, introduce any law or not, but as a human being we know that this is not a good thing for environment, for a livings. Okay, so why we should use that? Use your own cotton bag or your own the bag which is made from any cloth. Okay, so use that type of thing. So this is again a moral and ethic will be there in that. We will refuse him that we will not take any product from you if you will use that plastic polythene. Okay, people already he will not use polythene. Okay, and he will not use polythene. So there are so many societies, there are so many villages, so many cities. If we people, we will not take that plastic bag from that shopkeeper, so definitely he will not take from vendor. So vendor, he has having a lot of material, he will think that no any person is taking polythene, so why I should manufacture. Okay, so this is the way we can do that reduce, we can reduce the waste. Okay, now target for different industry. In that way we are talking about building and construction sector. So in building and construction sector, municipalities in tier 1 and tier 2 cities to start inventorying construction and demolition waste data by 2022. Recycling rate for C&D, construction and demolition waste, to reach 50% by 2025 and 75% by 2030. By 2025, what will be 30% of total public procurement of material for civil construction from recycled materials. Okay. So here I want to focus again. Why? Because we know that whenever building construction is there, some testing is there. In a concrete production, I want to add in concrete production that we are using concrete in a second most used material after the water. And in concrete, there is a cement which is producing CO2 emission in environment in a huge number. I used that line regarding CO2 in previous slide, and I told that I will discuss on that, or I reveal one truth afterwards. So I will reveal that truth over here, that in civil, if we are talking about concrete and we are talking about cement, then cement is the material which is producing CO2 emission. Okay. And if I will talk about our technical field, our engineering field, okay. So our whole engineering field together is responsible for 20 to 25% of CO2 emission in environment by manufacturing different material, different product. That's why I correlate in last graph that what is the use of that graph. In that I mention only material demand. Why? Because before that I have shown one table in that waste generation was there. So when your material demand increase, so as per that your waste generation will be more. This is the simple calculation. And if we are talking about building and construction sector, so as the concrete is that much tremendous, it is a very usable material after water, and because of that CO2 emission also in environment in a tremendous way. So we have to find another way. What another way? Because the building is there, it is having some service life. Okay, building having some service life, we know. After that we have to demolish that. So whatever demolished waste is there, we can use in a place of a fresh concrete. Okay, means whatever fresh concrete we are making, for in that we are using like cement, sand, aggregate. But whenever we are using that demolition waste, then that whatever material we are using for fresh concrete production, that requirement we can reduce. Okay, so C&D yani ki, means construction and demolition waste is also in a demand in a building and construction sector. Target for different industry. So in that electrical and electronic equipment sector, implementation of targets stated in existing e-waste management rule by 2020 introduced deterrent penalty mechanism for violation of e-waste management rule. So that e-waste management also e-waste for waste management, it is also used in construction work. If we are talking about solar photovoltaic sector, then by 2025 established 4 dismantling facilities and 8 such facilities by 2030 in upcoming years. 85% recovery rate of material from discarded photovoltaic material. If we talk about steel sector, so very initially we talk about that. So in that I am not discussing that much, but yes, as a you people, most of the audience from mechanical, maybe I am guessing like that. Maybe it is from a different engineering branch. But if we are talking about steel sector, okay, so that steel sector is also responsible 5 to 7% of CO2 emission in environment because steel manufacturing process. Okay, but there is a chances we can do reuse and recycle. Why? Because very initially we have taken example during steel manufacturing we have to do iron ore process, and in that granular material will be there that we can use directly, so it will be reused. And if we will granulate it in a grinding unit, then it will be like a recycle. Okay, so we can use steel industry waste a very nice way. Then aluminum sector, so in that by 2030 domestic scrap to fulfill 50% of the total aluminum scrap requirement, increase recycling rate to 50% by 2025 and 90% by in upcoming year 2030, increase rate of utilization of doors to 40% by 2025 and 80% by 2030. Now if we'll talk about the other country, if what my funda, that first start from your own home. Okay, so means first start from your own nation. We have to look after our neighbor too, right? Neighbor, our surrounding people too. So that's why I quote that one thing over here. That Oklahoma Recycling Association of USA. So in that small name is OKRA, is a non-profit organization. It is to improve recycling by providing education and referral services about integrated solid waste management, including reduction, reuse, recycling, and composting. It is designed to serve as a central communication point for exchange among business, industries, government entities, public and private organizations, and recycling. Zero Waste Network USA is a group of environmental professionals dedicated to finding money-saving options for conserving our natural resources. It is a collaborative project of U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the University of Texas at Arlington, and regional environmental agencies. Together, they work to identify pollution prevention options for large and small business as well as consumers. Fine. Then there's also like Sweden is there. Sweden is there. That's also doing very nice work. And International Association of Advanced Material, I got the opportunity with them to work as a young scientist from India in 2016 and 17 for a zero waste management. But at that time, I was pursuing my PhD. I'm having a collaboration with the DST Gujarat for one minor research project. So I didn't went there, but in nearby future, if I'll get again chance, then definitely I will work with them. Now, after discussing so many things about that, now trace to tracer. Okay, this picture you can see over here, that you can see that light. What we discussed about the technology's technical way as an engineering background people. But here we can see this is like a tire, okay, some truck tire or some car tire. This is a bicycle tire. So by using that, what they did, they just make some good decorative. Here you can see that glasses from that they made home decor, right? Here you can see that plastic wheels which come under that car's tire. Okay, that plastic wheels in car's tire, they make decor in garden. Okay, this is the exactly trace to tracer. Okay, this is exactly trace to tracer. Here you can see that tire, and by decorating it, it is like a arranged very nice and very aesthetic look. Okay. Now, the thing is that if we are focusing on trace to tracer, then this is the actually thing. Okay. But our vision is very far. Our vision is very far. So as a technical engineering background people, we did a lot of things about how can we use, how can we reduce, how can we recycle. Means every waste which is having no value, right? Having no value. But by attending that lecture or by whatever knowledge we have, we know that everything have some value. Everything have some value. So there is a waste. We have to reuse it. We have to reduce that. We have to recycle that. And we have to use in such a way that it can be usable to any next industry, any next generation, or any other people. So, technically in engineering term, what is exactly trace to tracer? So, trace to tracer, this means in a summarized that like we have so many rubber tires in that our automobile garage. Okay, we have garage. This is giving a technically example in an engineering term. What is exactly trace to tracer? In that previous what you seen trace to tracer, good aesthetic look, okay, good aesthetic decor, sitting arrangement, right? But in a technically, if you have so many rubber tire, okay, this is your waste, you are not going to use, this is your trash. Now how you will make it? It's a treasure. You can use that rubber in a like concrete manufacturing. Fine. How that concrete manufacturing? We are means, why I'm taking that example? You don't think that madam is from civil engineering background, that's why they are coming in picture with the concrete. Don't think like that. We all human beings from all the different engineering field, we are living in home, we are working in office, our day by day transportation, we are using a road, we are using a rail transportation, okay. So in all that case, we are connected with the civil engineering and we are connected with the concrete, because after the water, main human being using concrete in a large way. That's why we are talking about that. If you are having a garage, in that you are having a lots of tires, so use that tire in a concrete manufacturing, in a road making purpose, okay. So this is your exactly technically trash to tracer. Your trash with your rubber tire waste, your trash and your tracer is very good concrete from that for concrete manufacturing, for road making process, right? So there are so many things that we can see that is the waste, but from that waste, how we can reduce, how we can reuse, how we can recycle, and we can use in a nice way which can be useful to everyone. So if we will see the summary, then population growth and particularly the development of mega cities is making solid waste management in India a major problem. The current situation is that India relies on inadequate waste infrastructure, the informal sector, and waste dumping. There are major issues associated with the public participation in waste management. There is generally of responsibility towards waste. There is a need to cultivate community awareness and change the attitude of people towards waste, as this is fundamental to developing proper sustainable waste management system. Sustainable and economically viable waste management must ensure maximum resource extraction from waste combined with safe disposable of disposal of residual waste through the development of engineered landfill and waste to energy facilities. India faces challenges related to waste policy, waste technology selection, and the availability of appropriately trained people in the waste management sector. Here I want to quote and add, as a different engineering field technology people, this is our solely responsibility that we have to spread awareness about waste management from our different branch, right? Until these fundamental requirements are met, India will continue to suffer from poor waste management and the associated impact on public health and the environment, which will not lead to trace to treasure. For this particular lecture, I have went science-direct.com for some technically that numerical data. I used Wikipedia too. I used google.com. Also, by reading some newspaper, I have shared some live things, and I added some things which I explained that I was the eyewitness of that. And this is my contact. I am Dr. Damyanti Badagha, Associate Professor in Civil Engineering Department in SN Patel Institute of Technology and Research Center, Umrak. This is my email ID. This is my contact number. Due to time limitation, waste technology, waste management, it is a very vast topic. If we will schedule like one subject per semester, though it will not sufficient, because we know that there are different type of waste, different use of that waste, we can generate so many different productive things from waste. So if in a semester that subject will be introduced, though it will be not sufficient, we have to consider that subject like waste technology 1, waste technology 2, waste technology 3, likewise. Okay, so this is a very vast topic, but in my very fundamental, my first lecture, I try to do needful as per my knowledge and available resources. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. And at last, if we will think about waste management in a very nice manner, then our environment will be very neat, clean, good for human being to survive. Okay. So here I am ending my lecture. Thanks a lot to everyone. Now, if anyone want to discuss anything with me, if anyone want to ask anything to me, so now it's open for you all. You can ask anything. I will address you. If you have a lot of questions, my email ID is with you. You can write me email. My number is given to you. You can WhatsApp me. I will definitely reply. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful and very enlightening session on waste management. Actually, it is an eye-opening session for many of us.
Yes. Thank you.
And I think I have been you have been able to clearly explain to us the various trends which is going with respect to the waste management presently. So thank you, ma'am. And I have few questions from the participants which I will like to share with you.
Yes.
There are a few like what is the trend of per capita income of and waste generation? One
Per
participant
capita?
income and waste
Yes.
generation.
Okay. If I am yes. Okay, sir. You complete your question. I will answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Is it same? Is it in same proportion that of the population? If so, is buying power of human resulting in waste generation? What aspects of these two be under check? One participant has asked this question, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Very nice question, and I really appreciate your question because you exactly asked as per our discussion, right? So here I want to add that as per different type of waste, the waste means whatever income we are generating from waste, okay, it will differ from like industry to industry, material to material. So that what we can say that money generation from that waste will differ. Okay, this is the point. Second point, if we will take any waste, okay, so there is a simple clear calculation. We have minimum bottom line, we don't have that maximum line. If we have lots of research in that and lots of awareness in that, then we can give you the clear amount that what will be the maximum that income from that waste. But minimal bottom line we have, suppose any industry, any waste, any industry, any waste, generally there is a 5 to 10% what we can say income from that waste. Okay, this is the thing. Another sir continue question was what I
Yeah,
another continue thing.
Is it so? Is it the buying power of human resulting in waste generation?
Human, sir, what buying power? Buying, sir, right? Purchasing.
Buying power means the cost. Buying power, okay, purchasing power, you can call it. Has it any core relation with the
Yes.
waste generation?
Yes.
That's what this question
So
was.
in a buying power, I will say, yes, I will say that buying power, any human being having that buying power. But what I am exactly telling the exact practical thing I am sharing with you. Is that now? So on production, okay, after whatever raw material is there, so how to manage that, it's a hectic for them. Okay, so yes, you don't have to go and buy, you have to ask, give me your waste, I will manage that. Okay, so by collecting that, theoretically and much income from that. Okay, and by making another product, you are getting some income. Okay, so yes, individual human having the capacity, and as per law, yes, you can buy that. There isn't any boundary or limitation. Any people can do that. Any people can buy that. But whenever waste is there or any raw material is there, so that person directly contact to that industry, and by giving your perfect clear vision that why you need that raw material byproduct, for what purpose, that you have to explain to them. You have to show your identity perfectly, and give you their product. You can use, no need to buy that product, no need to buy that waste. They will give you automatically, because their waste management problem will be okay. Yes, sir. Another question.
Yes, ma'am. One more question, ma'am. Do we have any block level system for recyclable waste collection, which is run by government or government aided institutes?
Yes. Block, na, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, please again repeat question, sir, because I am having a two answer
yes,
for
yes,
that.
Yes, ma'am. Again, I'm repeating it, madam. Do we have any block level system
Yes.
for recyclable waste collection, which is run by government or government aided institutes?
Yes. I introduced one policy. Okay, so as per that, and our government is running also cell regarding that waste management. Okay, so as per that waste management, I right now I didn't remember the name of that policy perfectly and that government sector, but yes, this is the perfect thing that government introduced, that we can contact to that government body, we can collect that waste, and we have that block that we can contact government for that waste collection, or using that waste we can do business. That type of cell is there. If any particular participant is there, so please you put query on my email and WhatsApp, so definitely I will give you the perfect name of that government body with the name and contact detail. I am having, but right now it is not in my mind. Okay, sir.
One more, ma'am, question. Why do you think, ma'am, the people and authorities are giving stress to plastic when it amounts to 4% of your total waste generation? This is a very good question. Was asked by one participant.
Yes. In my lecture only I discussed that we know there are so many waste. The cycle will be closed when we do use, reuse, and recycle. That the circle will be closed in any type of waste. But we know the chemistry of plastic, right? This is not an end product. That will be not. And if we will going to do landfill, we are going to do in a water filling. If we are dumping it in a water, we are dumping in land. So it will drastically change the water. We will burn that will pollution. Okay, so plastic is such type of waste. There is a no end life of that plastic. Okay, so that's why government is stressing us on that. Yes, sir.
Actually, there is one more similar kind of a question, I think, with regard to plastics only, ma'am. As we are aware that there is that devastating effect of plastic. Actually, we are being aware, but at the same time, we are not very much aware about the alternatives with regard to plastic. Say clay-based products, bamboo-based products, recycled paper-based products. Not much of an awareness is given. What could be the reason, and how can the present disposition can raise awareness about alternatives with respect to plastic? It's a very good question asked by one of the participants.
Right now I will be focusing on thinking that it will product and water production going on. So this is not that much. This production is not that much. Okay. Then whatever sir told about regarding the paper, about the wooden based, so that type of production not that much in demand. Now we are going too much digital, too much smart. So in that, the plastic thing come in our mind first. Why? Very light in weight, very easy to mold, very easy to manufacture. So in you just see your nearby surrounding. Most of the things you will realize it is made by plastic. Okay. If I will tell about myself, there is a plastic table, plastic chair, plastic that shoe holding stand is there. Okay, there are so many things we are carrying with even our mobile phone cover. Okay, so there are so many things which are of plastic because it is a very easy to manufacture. And whatever other product like you are saying, like a bamboo or any paper or any wooden material, so there are so many less things which are manufacturing in that way. Okay, and these all the products, these all the material, they are not harming, means they are not harmful to environment that way. Why? Because these all material having the closing cycle. If you will reduce, if you will reuse, you can recycle. Okay, in other materials product, there is a chances we can very easily reduce it, reuse it, and recycle. These all materials, these all products are a end product. Means we can say at the end it will not going to water and air if we can it very effectively. So because of its cost and manufacturing using that, but it is not end product. It is going to harmful to any environment thing like water. So that's why we are not focusing on other things very that much way, because not that much production and not that much. Okay, so whatever the thing very harmful, if I will say that one person is having just a simple example, one person is coming to shoot me with a gun and one person is coming to slap me. Okay, so I have to protect myself from that gun person. Why? Because he will shoot, I will die immediately, but that person is going to slap me, so I will just feel some pain. Okay, so this is the between why we are not focusing on other material that much and why we are focusing on plastic, because plastic is the person who is coming with gun, and any person is coming to slap means that is the another product, another material. This is the basic concept behind that.
Okay, ma'am. One of the participants, Dr. Sangamitra, wants to ask you a question directly. Dr. Sangamitra, please, you can ask the question directly to ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Actually, when we are talking about waste management, recycling plays a very big role. I just want to know the recovery level of plastics during recycling. I hope it won't be done in one attempt, maybe after 2 or 3 attempts. What would be the level of recovery?
Yes. Like which level, ma'am?
I mean the percentage.
Madam, level again. I will not, ma'am. I will not tell you exactly why, because as a technical different type of plastic. Okay, from polythene, ma'am, from polythene to fan. Okay, and from our toothbrush to our chair. Okay, so recovery level for all the plastic product will be different as per that material characteristic. Okay, because there are so many type of plastics in industry.
Okay, ma'am. Then supposing if it is supposing if we take some PET or PVC or something like that. For example, ma'am.
Your is breaking in. Your voice is. Please, you clearly tell your line. It's in between.
Like just one example, ma'am. For example, PVC.
Polyvinyl chloride. So that was that. And that was my knowledge. 13%.
Hello.
I can see that it is 4 to 13%. But hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am. Whatever research paper, yes, ma'am. Whatever research paper I read, as per that, it was the 4 to 13%. Okay. But right now on a practical field, it is a vary and exact value I can later on, if you don't mind. Hello.
Ma'am, are you able to hear us? Ma'am?
Yes,
it's
I can.
breaking,
Sir,
sir.
I
It's
can hear your voice.
breaking. It's breaking for me actually. 4 to 13%. I have understood, ma'am. Right now, like, what is the level?
So as per the data I read, so these are data what we are discussing of for that thing will be so I think will differ and it will maybe more than I can't tell you, but yes, it will be more than 30. Can you hear me?
Madam, hello, ma'am. Yeah. Any other questions? I think we can almost come to the conclusion of the session, ma'am. It was a very wonderful session interacting with you, ma'am. You very presented everything in a very nice and very lucid manner. You made us literally aware, and we probably have to unlearn a lot of things and relearn new things with regard to waste management.
Definitely, but I want to add one thing to my audience. Dear audience, that was my first lecture. So I have to go with the fundamental and right. My so that will be different from the other aspects. So don't like hear from my lecture. Okay.
Very nicely put it, madam.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
thank you again, madam, for coming. And your presence will be solicited in another few sessions also. So anyway, you will be coming back to us again. You'll be a resource person for.
definitely.
Please do come.
Yes.
And anyway, thank you again, and thank you all the participants for sparing your time and listening to this wonderful session. We'll